Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another week of OCC Scrims. I'm your play-by-play caster, Showdown Shane,
And I'm your color caster for the evening, Captain Jack.
and tonight for another Shimada Clan Division game, we have Scarlet OwO versus United Moose. For tonight, we got for the map packs, we got Busan, Kings Row, Junkertown, Volskaya, and Ilios. Should be an exciting matchup. What do you think, Captain Jack?
Well, first off, I have to say I'm a little bothered by the fact that you said "OwO" instead of "OwO," and I'm over 30, so the fact that I knew that and you didn't makes me a little concerned for your well-being. Are you all right over there?
I am very alright. I'm very alright over here. I just I'm just saying what I'm seeing. And tonight for the rosters, we for Scarlet we got Shanron and Zodiac as tanks, Andros and Emmy as DPS, Ox Arrows and Lynx as support, and for United Moose's side, we have Space Mew and Okemi as tanks, Nat and Flame Okami as DPS, Uri and Novan Vixen as support.
And apparently it is OwO and not OwO. And to be completely honest, now I'm back at being over 30 again because I didn't even know that there was a difference to that. No clue. Chat can confirm that apparently I did not know the difference in that. But these two teams are currently sitting at the bottom of the Shimada clan division right now. Scarwet just having such a difficult time so far this stage. 0-2 right now. Absolute defeat going on for Scarwet, with United Moose currently sitting in the middle, 1-1, 50% positive one map differential. So they're getting there. They're getting there. So this is Scarwet's time to shine. They have the ability to be able to bring it back. I haven't watched any of the previous matches, but I'm looking at who is on this team. You know, we've got Zodiac, we've got Ox Arrows, we've got Lynx Disease. Like, we've got some amazing players on this team. So I'm hoping that maybe the issue that we've seen in the previous weeks is more so that they've been working a little individually. Maybe it's a brand new team and they've been trying to, get the kinks out, which is totally understandable. But definitely one of the things that we've continued to see from week to week is those teams that have worked on that coordination, worked on that synergy with one another, and those teams that are good players, that are incredible players, but they don't have that synergy. Like, they're all kind of going based off of their own merits, and that doesn't always win you games. So I'm hoping that I will see Scarwet be able to bring it back, the underdog in tonight's match against United Moose. But hey, if you've ever seen Moose's United, you better run, because I don't want to get that. I don't want to get that in the butt, while I'm running away. Those antlers are no joke. So our first map of the evening is going to be Busan. So it looks like our teams are ready to go. So let's go ahead and get this match started. Want to remind you folks that we have always got amazing content going on here at the OCC Scrims, so be sure to hit that heart and punch that bell so you get notified every time we're online. You can also hit that sub button, $4.99, or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will give you access to some amazing emotes created by our community, as well as support that community in which you serve. So it looks like our first map of the evening is going to be downtown.
You got the lovely map right on in the middle with the overarching arch right up here. And also, what kind of comms do you think we'll see tonight?
Well, it looks like I'm going to have to fix the lobby because Cybersanity set it up, but I guess it's not set up for comp rules. So we're going to throw it back to the lobby real quick. We might not be starting on downtown after all, but honestly, if we were starting on downtown, the compositions that I would be looking for, the competitive rules are on. What the heck? It's true. We're good to go. Teams just using their strategies to keep us on our toes. Well, it looks like we're headed to the Mecha base instead, which is, in many ways very similar to downtown.
Overarch, you got the bottom layer. It's same old, same old.
Well, I mean, it's just more so the fact that you have this very distinct low ground and high ground advantage that can be happening here. You could have the dive that could come in, which of course takes a very coordinated effort from the team to be able to pull off. Allows you to control both the high ground and the low ground pretty defensively. You can also just go for a very brawly comp. You know, that Ryan Zarya has been coming back with that Reaper May, just, you know, get in their face, do a heck of a lot of damage, and don't say no after the safe word comes out. You know, that kind of damage is what we're talking about here, folks. But the thing that always gets me on Mecha Base is those barriers. If you are not paying attention, there could be a huge ultimate that could come in, and those barriers could either go down and leave you completely vulnerable, or go up and protect you and cancel whatever ultimate was getting ready to head your way. So let's get into the action and see what they're going to be coming out with.
And it looks like we already got on the side of United Moves. It looks like they have the right Dario play. We see both teams trying to engage and make something happen. We see the Roadhog trying to get a couple hooks in on the side of Scarlet, but it doesn't seem like he doesn't get a pick anywhere out. Point opening up. Let's see how both teams handle this. We see one pick coming out. I'll make that two. Ooh, Ryan is down on the side of Scarlet. We're gonna see how this plays out for Scarlet. It looks like they're having the advantage. Huge shatter already coming out. And another shatter coming out, but it doesn't seem to pick anyone up. Right now, it looks like Scarlet has the point right now, and all they need to do is just defend it as long as they can. And United Moves trying to make something happen, but not doing anything at the time. 3K coming out on the side of United Moves, make that 4, and now all it is the Roadhog, and they're ganging up on him, and there it is United Moves will take this point back.
That was some incredible play right there. First off, it comes Link's Disease coming in on that Mercy was absolutely clutch. They ended up losing Zodiac at the beginning of that fight, and losing your main tank is definitely not the one that you want to see out of the action. Bringing them back in, they were able to get the Shatter online very quickly. But then we see United Moose being incredibly patient, being just a little bit passive, and now the Graviton's in.
See a 2 picks coming out to make that 3 on United Moves, and it looks like they'll be taking this point back, holding off Scarlet as much as they can. And with the team kill, perfectly executed.
That was great. Honestly, I feel like the investment of the Deadeye probably wasn't necessary, but the fact that Nat has gotten it so quickly, not something to worry about. You also got a lot of other ultimates coming online. Space Mew with the Shatter, the Flame Okami coming on with the Blizzard. Oh, but there's that Shatter.
That is going to be it. Hey, that is a cleanup for United Moose on this one.
And this is just
another team kill.
This is just coming down to coordination right here. Space Mew is acting incredibly patient, whereas Zodiac seems to be one of those Ryans that just likes to get in and brawl, you know, not understanding the balance between shield play and hammer play. I know it's really fun to slam around that hammer over and over again, but oh, that Deadeye comes in.
It looks like right now both teams are just fighting it out on the point, trying to make something happen. But it looks like United Moose on the offensive right now, still doing what they can. And Scarlet trying to make something happen, but as we see, Zarya is taken out by Space Mew. Who they look like either trying to back up a little bit. We see both Ryans going down on the floor, which Prime supremes overall. Right now, it's about to go into overtime. Zodiac takes out Space Mew. Oh, one Ryan is down, but that could be enough to get the point. Shatter comes out, only ends up getting Okami from Zodiac. Nat takes out 2. Graviton Surge coming out to keep everyone in place. We see Coalescence coming out on the side of United Moose. Right now, it's going a little bit crazy on point, but it looks like United Moose will hold them off for this first point, and that'll be it. United Moose wins round 1.
Okami and Mirai just absolutely bringing it back from the jaws of defeat right there. The Graviton ended up holding 2 of the teammates together for the side of Scarwet. As we saw Mirai coming in with the Coalescence, and as you know, there's unless you stun out a Coalescence, there's no way to stop it. That thing is going to damage anything and everything in its path, and so effectively, Mirai moving around the objective, making sure not to get pinned down, making sure not to get frozen or stunned by anyone, but still being able to focus that beam on the enemy and the attackers, and just was able to bring it back for them. It really worked out. We are going to see some swaps for either side, though. Andros coming out on the Junkrat with Flame deciding to take on the Sombra this time around, and Nat coming on to that beautiful Widow as we head into downtown.
And it looks like the engagement is starting to happen right now. See the Ryan's a little bit away from his team. And there's 3 coming out on the side of United Moose. Make that 4. Counter to 1 on the side of Scarlet. And looks like United Moose will take first point. As now Scarlet has to regroup.
And again, I just feel like what we might be seeing from Scarwet is that we have a whole bunch of great players, but there's not a lot of team synergy right here. The fact that Zodiac is going down so incredibly quickly, it just kind of boggles my mind right there. Like, if your healers have got your back, there's no reason that Ryan should be falling that quickly.
We see Shanron on the wrecking ball trying to see if he can make something happen. He's getting a little bit sneaky on the outside, but right now both teams are just waiting to see what could happen. See Nav, with a pick on the Hanzo, but right now he gets revived by Link's disease. Huge shatter coming out on the side of United Moose, and that'll be a cleanup on Scarlet. And that'll be it. Scarlet once again held off from even touching the point.
Space Mew is a force to be reckoned with, folks. You have got to keep your eye on when those shatters are gonna fall every single time. And Zodiac right now is just not having it. They just want to keep that hammer swinging. They want to get in and do damage, but as a tank, you've got to be able to take damage, and you've got to prevent fat shatties like that.
And now we see they're trying to once again come on the engagement right here. A little bit aggressive. You see the Grandma Surge coming out, holding about 3 in place. Let's see if anything can happen from it. We see 2 coming out, another shatter coming out. Doesn't seem to get anyone. Right now we see Scarlet trying to do what they can, and there you go. And it looks like United Moose still holding them all with that sniper action coming from Nat, and still holds off Scarlet to the best of their abilities.
By using Nat on that Widow, you're able to take so many different angles of attack. And when we saw the engagement right there, it was just so hard for them to continue to hold on when Nat was just literally pelting them in the back with headshots. But it looks like we got a dive coming in for the final fight.
And it looks like a huge EMP trying to come out, canceling out abilities. Another shatter coming out. Doesn't seem to get too many out of it. Nat's still on that sniper action and trying to see that Scarlet is on the desperate attempt to do what they can to try and get to this point. And we see Mirai coming out with a Coalescence, another Graviton Surge coming out to hold anyone they can in place. United Moose just cleaning it up left and right. And looks like that'll be it. United Moose takes game 1.
And United Moose is just showing to be on absolute fire right here. Play of the game is either going to end up being a fat shatter from Space Mew, or I was going to say it was going to be some well-timed shots from Nat. And here it is. Beautiful shatter right there. Just very ill-timed. Zodiac, you got to keep that shield up, fam. Space Mew is watching every single time. As a Rhyme player myself, once you have that shatter online, you are watching every single second for that shield to come down. You're waiting for them to throw that fire strike to get that little additional damage right there, and that is the perfect time to slam her down and clean it all up. So you gotta be counting out that ult. If you're getting close to yours, you gotta know the enemy team's getting close to theirs, and you gotta stop it before they make something happen with it.
A little salt in the wound with a May ice block out of there, just so that any teammates that were to even try and save them couldn't even get in there.
It's a lot of coordination coming out from United Moose right now, and Scarwet just licking the wounds right now. I don't really have much else to say there. Ox Arrows right now showing to be incredibly strong, trying to use the Coalescence as much as possible to cancel out a lot of damage that's coming in. But honestly, I would recommend probably going for a more preventative damage healer, bringing in a Lucio, bringing in a Zenyatta, something that, if the chips are down, that Graviton comes in, that Shatter comes down, that EMP comes in, and you're out of the way enough that it doesn't hit you. You just throw yourself into the action, you save the day, and everybody's able to bring it back. Another thing that I've been noticing is there doesn't seem to be a lot of enemy focus coming out from Scarwet, which United Moose, they are like on that 24/7. Nat, during that last map that we saw in downtown, knew exactly who they were focusing every single time that the fight was going on. They weren't aiming at the shield. They were trying to pick off people that were behind Zodiac on that Rhine, trying to see if they could get the healers from their angle, moving around to different angles on the objective. They were doing an incredible job making sure that happens. I'm really hoping, I know Scarwet has the skill to be able to bring this back, and I really hope we see this next map.
I thought Scarlet had it for a moment, and then I just kept hearing sniper shots, and I looked up at the kill feed, and I see Nat has gotten 2 picks off, preventing Scarlet from even taking that point when it looked like it was in their favor.
Is true. Our next map of the evening, as we said before, we're going to be heading to Kings Row, Scrims Row, the map that every caster with a grain of salt is tired of seeing because every single person picks it. But hey, it's randomized, so we can't complain tonight. What do you think we're going to end up seeing for this map?
We might see the old classic brawl com. I love my brawl comps, and you might as well see it on here. We could get some dive, you never know, but personal favorite, the brawl comp with a good old fashioned Ryan Zarya.
What I would recommend for Scarwet is that, well, they're going to end up being on the defense first, so I guess we won't worry about that. But if when they go on to the attack, Nat ends up going back onto that Widow, or maybe onto a Hanzo to be just a little bit more fluid with their movements, you got to bring out the dive. Nat is just popping off way too many shots to not be countered, or maybe bring out a Widow of your own. I'm not for certain how incredible the DPS is for Scarwet, but if they can match up those shots, it looks like we are going to see now Emmy Yao coming in on the Zarya this time around, so that's going to be interesting.
It looks like we're trying to get an opening pickoff from Nat on that Widowmaker, possibly going up to the top of the tower. The classic 1-2 trick, trying to get an opening pickoff.
I mean, it's totally possible for them to do so. The thing is that more than likely, Nat's going to be coming in at an off angle as well. I like the fact that who is that? Sorry, my screen's a little small. Shanron is coming in on the side of the Aldersworth Hotel that's not immediately within their line of sight. They're really trying to make them work for that. But now they're moving into a better angle so that they're not sought out immediately. And let's go ahead and get into the action.
It looks like one art, and there it is, the headshot from Nat on X-Arrows. Scarlet is now down a healer, but looks like it doesn't matter to them as they're still keeping up with the pace, getting 3 picks off already on the side of Scarlet. They already got 3 picks off, and it looks like that will force a regroup out of United Moose.
Ooh, Shanron again winning out that Widow battle right now against Nat, currently up 2-0 after the pick that we saw come in onto Ox Arrows. It's showing just the intensity of this brawly composition. See the DPS coming in for United Moose is very more tactical. They're looking to see if they can get picks without really taking a big fight in the middle, whereas you got Andros coming in on that Junkrat. They're going to be dealing a heck of a ton of damage, and the Shatter
coming out, but doesn't seem to get anyone out of it. And there goes one Rhine. Let's see, Window coming out as well. Let's see if anyone makes any use out of it. It looks like we already got 2 picks now coming on the side of United Moose as they're trying to hold up and take point, kind of forcing Scarlet to kind of back up a little bit. Double Coalescence coming out. Another Shatter coming out, gets 2. That's their downfall. Junkrat is the only one that can probably try and turn around with his grenades. And there he is for the downfall. That'll be it.
So I have to say that Scarwet had a very great strategy using the environment to your advantage so that Nat couldn't get a pick on you. The only unfortunate part is that they made themselves incredibly vulnerable to the ground troops because now they were all cornered in that little Aldersworth hotel, wasn't able to go anywhere. They weren't able to engage onto the objective. I would almost recommend going for maybe a hybrid composition. Maybe have a Ryan Winston, so you have someone that can make sure that Nat is always out of the picture right there. But it looks like they're going to be swapping off to the Ashe with our Widows now swapping over.
Coming in with the 3, but you see Immortality's field coming out to protect anyone inside, but you see that Scarlet does not care and continues to mow down on United Moves, and now that's a regroup on United Moves' side.
Waifu Warrior in the chat, obviously upset that we were complaining a little bit about King's Row, but hey, if you've casted as many matches as I have, like, you're just looking for something different. It's like you're taking the same test over and over again with the same questions. You just get really bored. I'm sorry. I'm not saying it because I hate King's Row.
Coming out, 3. And then when we try and see what can they do, you see the tire coming out. Doesn't seem to get anyone out. We see another slam coming out, but does not matter. And we see that once again, Scarlet proving that they are a menace on defense, and now having Unite Moves for about their 3rd regroup of the game.
That was absolutely huge right there. Ox Arrows with a huge nade going into the middle of that Graviton gave the healing that they needed for their team, as well as making sure that the enemy was anti during that fight. That allowed Zodiac to earn up that shatter and then counter the charge into the Graviton. They were able to get out of that quickly, clean it all up. I want to see more coordination like this.
Oh, and we see that one Ryan is now blocked off. That's almost an instant kill for him. Exactly where it is. And now 9 Moves coming back with a triple shatter coming out from Space Mew. We'd love to see it. United Moves once again and proving their dominance. Now pushing the car right back off the middle.
Now we're sitting in a very interesting position. Flame Okami is swapped over to the Pharah with Mirai on the Mercy. So we got some Pharah Mercy action. We're headed into Objective 3. They do have a hit scan down, but Flame gonna go ahead and shut that down rather quickly. This area is gonna be really hard to run that Pharah Mercy though.
Yep, and there it is. They get a 2nd point. And we see a Genji Blade coming in, we see a Genji Blade from Shanron trying to get in and get some picks, but it only gets 1 on Mirai. Okami takes him out in response. Again, we seeing United Moves once again trying to push up their way through here without Scarlet not being able to do much about it. Seeing that they can make something work out of here.
That's true. I think it's just coming down to the coordination right now. We see, again, Zodiac getting caught out in these paywalls, but they're back in the fight once again.
We see a Graviton getting caught and catching 2 people in it, and that is it. That's a 3K on side of Scarlet. They're trying to push up some more, make that 4K, and it looks like United Moves once again has to regroup up.
Ox Arrow saving the day right there with that nano. The Graviton ended up coming in from Emmy, and they almost lost out on the value of it because they ended up freezing out Zodiac. But that nano came in, brought them back into the action, and they were able to take the objective back. Now they got a Shatter online, but we've got 4 ultimates coming in now.
We see a huge Graviton coming out with a freeze blizzard coming out from Nat, and we got a 2K coming out. It could be a 3K on Flame Okami since they were walled off. United Moves once again showing their dominance, coming right back up the middle. This could be the final fight that they needed to push this card up to 3 points, unless Scarlet can come out and do something about this. And Zodiac trying to charge in, and Barrage coming out on the side of Flame Okami. He gets Ox Arrows. Okami already takes out Zodiac. That's 3K, 4K, and that is about it. United Moves will take all 3 points.
yeah, I've said it once and I'm gonna say it again, folks. You gotta have those preventative ults. Moira Coalescence is not a preventative ult. Ana Nano Boost is not a preventative ult. It does not secure the safety of your team like a trance or a beat drop, or even if you want to go on the BAP and bring out an immortality field. That those are game changing ults and abilities that can save your team in desperate moments, like that freeze, like that EMP that we saw during these pushes. They're absolutely huge, and I'm really hoping that Scarwet support will decide to opt into that as they go on the attack.
And it looks like Scarlet bringing out the with Link's disease on the Lucio. Hopefully, get some funky beat drops on this one. We shall see.
The other good thing about using a Lucio is you have the boop ability, and it's not huge on a map like King's Row because you don't have a lot of environmental deaths that you can get, but especially with Flame on their team playing that Mei, if you boop that Mei away, that gives just a little bit more space for your tanks or your DPS to get unfrozen and to be able to re-engage in the fight rather quickly. So much utility in heroes like Lucio, other than just that big old beat save and drop.
Let's see if one head drops from Shenron as we see them going up to be once again another sniper. But it doesn't seem like they're going to get any picks off, and it looks like we're going to start the engagement quite here soon. See a wall coming off, doesn't seem to block anyone off right now. Both teams kind of in a deadlock right now, trying to make one or two things happen. You see Immortality coming out quite early, in my opinion. But as I said, we see already one come out, and Nat already picking the head off of Link's disease. They're already down one support. Let's see what they do with this one. You see another head start to roll off from Nat. That's another one for you. And it looks like that will be it, as we see Coalescence coming out and try and get some cleanup kills. And that'll be a regroup on the side of Scarlet OwO.
One of the things that I noticed during that fight is Shanron on that Widow. I'm not saying that the Widow's bad for this point. We've obviously seen a lot of value between them and Nat. But you got to rotate with your team even if you're staying away. They spent way too much time up there in the cathedral, not rotating with the rest of the team while they're on the other side of the statue. Like we're seeing once again.
Okay, well, we got a B coming out to save their life. Shatter coming out. Doesn't seem to get anyone. Well, we got Nat with the charge. We see two coming out on the side of Scarlet. Three coming out. That could be it. They could win this point unless, as United Moose does something to get under their skin, but it looks like that'll be it. Sharon getting a kill on Okimi, and that'll be it. As Scarlet takes.
It's not it yet. Nova's hiding in the shade right there, looking to get a boop off.
Oh! It looks like they're trying to stall it out from their team. Let's see. They might not be able to get it up. We have a pause coming out apparently.
Objective A captured.
Wait.
Escort the payload.
Technical difficulties. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we've been having issues the last couple of weeks. Blizzard servers just been having their issues. But we'll go ahead and get that cleared up. I gotta give some love to Nova right there. Always a smart play when you're the last one on point, especially if you're playing Lucio. Just keep yourself off for a little bit until they get there to the end, and just shave a little bit of extra time off of that clock as much as possible is definitely the best thing that you can do for your team. Plus, Lucio is one of those heroes that can easily get away, which I hope after this pause we will see Nova Vixen doing to be able to regroup with the rest of the team. Otherwise, we might see United Moose in a very odd position going into this next fight because they'll already be 5v6. We've got some ultimates getting ready to come online. We've got the sights from Shanron. We've got the Amp Matrix coming out from Ox Eros, and Okami for United Moose does have the grab with Space Mew and a Shatter not very far behind. Link's disease is going to have to earn that additional 13%, or Ox having that immortality ready to go for when those ultimates hit hard.
What I'm trying to see here is that what I think the plan was from Noah Nixon was trying to stall out as much as they could, and possibly have Space Mew come in with the Shatter, hopefully to have a reverse sweep on that first point. But unfortunately, a Nova Vixen was booped out of range by the Junkrat mines. Now we'll be resuming in 1 second, and there we go.
No one can hide from
Right.
my sight.
Sights coming out from Shenron, trying to get a cheeky pick off. Let's see if they can make anything happen. And right now, not getting much success out of it as both teams, as we see United Moves backing up to the corner.
I see a very cheeky Nova up there, trying to fight off the Shenron on that Widow 1v1. I mean, I know you got the heals, but you know your value is to the rest of the team. Big coalescence coming out right now, though.
Trying to get a little bit aggressive with it, and that's what they do. Shenron just knocking Nat's head off. You see the Graviton coming out, holding up about 4 in place, and that's it on the cleanup sweep on the side. That's a team kill on Scarlet's side.
Andros saving the day of that Graviton right there. I know for Rhines they say to unbind the charge, and I'd almost recommend it for Zodiac in that case. You don't want to charge into a Graviton. You get 1 out of maybe 5, if not 6 possible kills in that Graviton, but Andros was there cleaning them up with that grenade damage, able to do everything that big old hammer should have done anyway. But now they're coming in for a final fight, and there's a big Shatter coming in too.
And we see a backward Shatter trying to come out, kind of smart on the Ryan side. We see the tire coming out, only gets 1. Zodiac trying to make things work, and there it is. It looks like Scarlet will take second point as well.
That was incredibly well timed there for Zodiac, because honestly, I think if they would have waited a split second more, that big old Shatter would have came out from Space Mew and shut that entire push down. You have to be cautious when you're playing as Orion and you're trying to get those cheeky Shatters from behind, because remember, if you don't have a second shield character, then your team is vulnerable to a Shatter themselves. Let's see if they can stop Space Mew and their attack.
Let's see. We see the Blizzard coming with a Graviton. We got some freezes going out. We got 4 caught in it, and it looks like United Moves will have going to cleanup right now. And an excellent play with the freeze and Graviton coming right on out from United Moves' side.
Given some props to Link's disease right there. Again, that life-saving ult is so huge, and you know if they weren't in the Graviton, they probably would have been able to speed boost out of that. Another great utility that Lucio has, but you know they did their best. The ultimate was incredibly well timed, but they still got that Shatter online. Let's see if
we got a Coalescence coming out as well. We see another Shatter coming out. Gives about 2, but it looks like 2 people are moved away. Never mind. We got 2 picks coming out on the side. We got another Shatter coming out, but it's blocked by Space Mew. Ew, that is a big block on their side, and looks like they're trying to clean everything up. United Moose is coming down and showing their dominance once again.
Interesting swap onto the Pharah for this point. No support for Flame on the defense for this objective. So I find the use of the Pharah incredibly interesting. I can't say that
I can do this all by myself.
I guess. I'm not surprised by Okami. The D.Va is definitely good for this objective, especially if you're fighting against Andros on that Junkrat. Using those mines from the high ground is huge. But, ooh!
You see Nat just rolling heads over here, taking off one of their supports. That has to be an automatic backup on Scarlet's side. And it looks like they were doing just that, trying to hold off a little bit of time. As Nat is over here trying to click heads once again.
I think right now Emivow needs to be figuring out how to quickly use that Graviton so that they can swap over to a D.Va right now. They have Shenron on that McCree, but they're just not doing enough to take down Nat and Flame, as we see right there. Flame immediately taking down Shenron right there. They've got the angles, they've got the sky. They need somebody that can come up there and counter them.
Another Graviton first coming about. We see the B coming out, both 2 Bs coming out. Let's see, make something happen. It looks like United Moves is saved right now. The D.Va bomb coming up top, somehow killing Andros. Another shatter, huge shatter coming out, getting about 3 people in that one. Let's see, there's another cleanup happening on the side of United Moose, and it looks like Scarlet trying to regroup as much as they can, but it looks like they're gonna lose a couple of people in the process.
I love that use of ultimates right there. Absolutely huge. Okami, the bomb was a little off, got caught on the high ground, but you still ended up getting a pick with it. So if you got a pick, it's not a lost ultimate. Space Mew, I feel, could have used their shatter a little sooner and earned one up just as quickly for that fight. But hey, you know, still won it regardless, and they didn't lose any fight before then. And Nat popping off once again.
And getting both supports. That is unfortunate with United Moves. Just once again, just cleaning up, not letting them get the third point, and 30 seconds remaining. Nat, an absolute menace on the Widowmaker.
And remember, Scarwet came into this objective point with more, with double the time that we saw United Moose grab this objective. So they've had plenty of time to try to counter this, but I'm not seeing any counters whatsoever.
We see a Ground Surge coming out along with the Coalescent. We see Shinron trying to get a pick, gets Mirai in the process. Let's see if Scarlet will make things happen and try and get that third point as they're in overtime. Desperate attempt to come out and make something happen. Nat already takes out one of their DPS. We see another D.Va bomb coming out. Doesn't get any picks off, gives Emmy some charge along with it. And we see once again Zodiac going on to get. Ooh, we see Zodiac trying to get a little bit sneaky, but Kimmy's like, not in my house. It's not falling for it a second time. United Moves looks like they're cleaning up right now. Another shatter coming out, and that's it as United Moves takes game 2.
The biggest part of that objective was the fact that Nat was not shut down the entire time. Widows can be incredibly dangerous to your backline, and if you go back and replay all 3 minutes, the first pick that Nat got every single time was a healer. Every single time. That Widow is dangerous to your backline. If you do not shut her down, she will take you out. And that is what we continued to see on that objective. We're going to throw it to a quick halftime. I'm really hoping that Scarwet will be able to bring it back, get that coordination, figure out what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. Do we got anything else we want to put out before we throw it to the half?
I'd like to say that good on Okami to recognize that they could not see the Reinhardt and then finding him in the backline, because that Reinhardt Zodiac had his ultimate and could have used it to try and take out everyone in the backline and try and get the point. But good on Okami for sniffing him out and taking him out in the process.
I also want to give Okami a lot of love. Very few Pharos get protection from their divas during barrages. So good on Okami for using that defense matrix to make sure that Flame was not completely obliterated out of the sky with that low-hanging barrage. We're going to go ahead and throw it to a short break. The Overwatch Cavalry Club scrims will be back in about 5 minutes. Stay tuned.
How about you?
All right, and welcome back, everyone, to this lovely night over here at OCC Scrims. We're gonna take it to Junkertown for Map 3 of United Moose versus Scarwet OwO.
And
What do
this
you
is
think?
going to be an interesting matchup for sure. I am really hoping that Scarwet brings this back. Uh, I was seeing a lot of improvement on Kings Row, and Junkertown is definitely one of those widow heavy maps, but it's also a very dive heavy map with all the space it has between objectives 1 and 2. So I really want to see if Scarlet has the ability to bring out either a hybrid or a dive composition entirely to try to see if they can shut Nat down from picking off their healers all the time. Otherwise, they just need some kind of hit scan or counter sniper to be able to keep Nat out of the way. But so far, we haven't seen that work very strongly. So I'm going to be interested to see what they have to bring to the table as we head to Junkertown.
And we see some swaps coming in on the side of United Moose. We have Chibi Kitty and Tiger Lily coming in. You think United Moose has something up their sleeve, maybe, especially on Junkertown? Is it different? You got that payload, that full payload map. You could have some aces up your sleeve with these swaps coming in.
I mean, possibly, but United Moose honestly is sitting pretty, actually. I can't say that they're necessarily worried, and this is their final map before they take the series. So if they have any kind of trick up their sleeve, it might be the fact that Chibi's an incredible
Welcome
Mercy
to
player.
Jungle.
So I'm hoping to see some of those wiggles coming out of here, getting some clutch reses. Maybe they're looking to play a more dedicated Pharah Mercy composition. Otherwise, I think they're
Initiating
just
launch.
trying to give everybody a little bit of time on the field for tonight's match.
And you know what? We could even see a Battle Mercy come out. You know, Battle Mercy can do work too. You just don't see it very often.
All right. So here in a couple seconds, we're going to see what our teams are going to be coming out with. Looking at the chat right now, it looks like there was a lot of love for the 5-minute video. Want to give a special thank you to Brick from our community for putting that together. Definitely love it when our community comes together to make awesome videos such as that. We really appreciate it. Seeing some good lucks to the gals of United Moose coming in on the supports. And it looks like we are going to see a little of what I predicted. It looks like Chippy's going to be taking on the Moira, but Tiger Lily going to be coming in on the Mercy instead with Flame Okami. Nat going to be coming out on that Widow once again, but Emmy looking to take up that Sniper, going to be coming in on the Hanzo with Andros on the Soldier 76. Let's see if they can make it happen.
And it looks like Andros already taking out Flame Okami. That's good. And we see Nad just rolling heads once again on Emmy. And now it looks like both teams are now down 1 DPS. Let's see how United Moves, how each team respond to this. As we see United Moves just going ahead and taking strides, just move the payload as much as they can. Not much happening on either side. Just both teams trying to look for something big to happen. And as Zodiac trying to get aggressive, and also with Space Mew getting aggressive in return. We got Zodiac coming in on a Shatter. Hopefully, make something big coming out from that. We see, like, again, United Moves finally getting a little bit of space to try and work with. And Zodiac now with a Shatter online, as well as Space Mew. One shot, we see a barrier broken, and there it is, a triple Shatter, another Shatter in response on to counter it, but it looks like United Moves not caring, and as they still try and go up, but you see 2 go down on the side of United Moves. You see Tiger Lily with the revive on Space Mew though, that could be huge, and that's it, as United Moves now trying to clean up what they've done, and just moving the payload as much as they want.
It seems to be like there's a little bit of communication issues right there. We do have the coalescence coming out from Link's disease right now, but honestly, I think it's going to be a failed attempt right here. They do end up allowing Flame to take themselves out for this fight, so that's going to be interesting. Whole hog coming out right there, though.
Trying to keep him off guard. That was a good play by Shenron, just to hook the Pharah out of the air and do enough damage for Pharah's splash damage to kill herself. So that holds off United Moose just by the jaw. Scarlet escaping the jaws of death a little bit. And now let's see if they keep it up. Emmy taking off Nat's head, but get with a revive by Tiger Lily. Transcendence coming out to make them get a little bit aggressive on the side of Scarlet. It looks like now United Moose is trying to back up and kind of regroup and go in for another fight.
And that is a smart play by United Moose right there. You cannot do unless you got a Diva Bomb, there's not enough damage you can do to counteract a Transcendent. So backing off, making some space. Oh, but this Graviton ain't gonna get
huge with the barrage coming out as well. And it looks like United Moose with the 4K, 5K coming up now. It looks like they will be taking 0.1.
I mean, patience is a virtue right now that United Moose just absolutely has on lock. They backed off, they regrouped just a little bit to let the Transcendence wear out, and then they move back in once again. Ox Arrow, so on that Zenyatta, those Discords got to be doing a lot of damage as they get the first pick there onto Nat. So they're going to be moving this objective in a 5v6 scenario.
We see Shinron on the top as Roadhog trying to make something happen. Barrier destroyed on Space Mew's side. It's dangerous because Zodiac themselves already have an ult online, but so does Space Mew. So let's see if we see a big shatter coming out from either side. Shenron still up top. It looks like Flame Okami trying to bait him out and use hack on him. Barrier destroyed. We see a hammer coming out, getting three. A good stuff by Space Mew, knowing that their barrier destroyed leaves them very vulnerable, and going ahead and taking the chance they can for that shatter. And once again, United moves, who's taking strides to move the payload once again towards second point.
Ooh, beautiful cancel by right there by Shanron, and they go ahead and prevent
and another huge shatter coming
Oh!
out by Zodiac in response. Hello, they say you're not taking this point from us, and now it looks like Scarlet holds them off yet again.
That was a beautiful shutdown right there. Shanron canceling out the res that was going to be coming in there.
Wait, what is going on? What's going on? There's a backcap by Flame Okami! Oh my gosh!
Oh, snap. I thought Flame had actually gone back to the rest of the team. Me too. Goodness gracious. And an initial pick. Initial 2 picks coming in from
Oh my gosh! Now over here, clicking heads! Oh my gosh! I'm still baffled by the Sombra. That shows you what Sombra can do with her invisibility. Now,
eyes on that card that close.
Monster. Another huge shot with the EMP. United Moves just showing complete dominance over this. T-poses all over her Scarlet as they just as one after another huge strides. Putting nails in the coffin on Scarlet.
So Emmy is putting themselves in a very difficult position right here. The Bob and the Dynamite are incredibly useful. I'm not saying that they're not. But when you're in a 1v1 battle against Nat on that Widow, you're not going to win it out without a shield.
Yeah, Graviton Surge come out and try to make something happen. And we see that also OwO comes out as well. Let's see, but it looks like United Moose once again with a double with that shatter. Or let's see if United Moose can get on that. But it looks like they're not able to capitalize on it. Another shatter coming out, gets the whole back line, but looks like Zodiac is killed in return. Shinron getting in Space Mew's. It looks like we got a 3K, a alongside Scarlet. It's got a revive coming out on Space Mew once again, but it looks like that's not going to do much as Scarlet forces another regroup.
I gotta say, I'm incredibly impressed that they ended up holding that objective. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Zodiac, once again, wanting to be that aggressive Rhine when it's not the right time to do so. I gotta say, if you're on that objective, and they were pretty much on that objective alone, the rest of the team was pulled back and was trying to get picks from a distance, trying to give themselves a little bit of space. But Zodiac, instead of putting that shield up to try to protect the rest of the team, was just swinging that hammer. Once again, Fat Shatter came in. Thankfully, they had a shatter of their own that ended up canceling them getting in on it. But you know, I really want to see some more coordinated effort here from Zodiac.
It looks like Zodiac trying to get a little bit aggressive. High Noon coming out, takes out Ox Arrows. Now with the 3K, we see a Reaper letting it rip on point, getting 2, gets the third one out of Death Blossom. The revive going out on Space Move by Tiger Lily. Let's see if Zodiac trying to get aggressive with OCC. Dragon Blade coming out. Another shatter coming out. Seems to get some picks off of it. It looks like United Moose will take this third point. It looks like Zodiac still trying to get it with that. Another EMP coming out, and looks like Zodiac goes down. United Moose will tank all 3 points.
So that was a much stronger hold there for the side of Scarwet. They did an incredible job of getting the picks that they needed to. I was kind of questioning the Reinhog, and I still kind of do, because Reinhog is good, for certain aspects, but especially when you have a main tank that wants to get aggressive, you want to try to provide any kind of support you can to allow that tank to get aggressive, but not get taken out of the fight. And that having that hog is not going to provide that kind of support for your main tank right there. I mean, saw a lot of value coming out from Shanron though on that hog. Some beautiful whole hogs pushing pretty much the entire team off the objective again and again and again, getting beautiful picks, stunning out reses with that hook, just doing an incredible job. I want to see Zodiac be a little bit more patient, be a little bit more defensive to help the team out in this next fight. Otherwise, for the side United Moose, they made a couple of mistakes of their own that fight as well during objective number 2. Nat going on to the high ground didn't realize that Emiao was actually behind them when they hooked onto the objective, not paying attention to where they were. That kind of map presence is really important. But it looks like we're coming out with a coordinated dive effort from the side
And
of
we already
Scarwet.
already clicking heads once again on Emmy. Almost taking out Andros, and there it is. Nat, an absolute monster on the Nat, an absolute monster on the Widowmaker tonight. There's another one. Oh my gosh, they need to do something quick and fast about Nat because they're just out here flicking heads like it's no tomorrow.
Well, the issue being is the fact that they didn't. I'm not for certain what Scarwet was trying to do there, but they weren't using the map to their advantage. That Widow only has one angle to come from, and if you're not in that line of sight, you can't flick your head. And they had already lost the push. They were waiting for their Lucio to get back, and they decided, nope, we're just gonna kind of stand out here, I guess, and
looks like
get our head
another
clicked.
headshot. But looks like they're going for a pirate ship strategy with the Bastion. That could work out well unless as United Moves gets really coordinated. He goes ahead and gets the essential picks that they need. They coordinate on that. Space Mute kind of staying out in the open a little bit. I don't know what's happening over there. Pause. There's a pause coming out.
Yep. Looks like Space Muse having a little bit more lag right there. But even so, the thing that was really interesting for me was that Okami not throwing out that shield to also help with Space Muse shield. When you're running the double shield, especially with the Sigma, you want to be throwing out that Sigma shield as much as possible to prevent that damage going in from your Rhine shield. Your shield has less health in it, but it recharges quicker, and you're able to throw it out into situations a lot easier than your Ryan, who is not able to move or get that shield into always the best positions. So I would really like to see Okami throwing out that shield to make sure that Space Muse stays up, and they're definitely going to need it, especially that suck ability. When Space Muse shield goes down, you're going to need to be right next to them to pop that suck so that they don't immediately get melted by Emiao, as we saw right there.
Yes, and it looks like things are trying to get back started here in just a second. And it's gonna take great coordination on United Moves to try and take out this Bastion strat. As Bastion strats can be difficult unless you're well coordinated and can take them out quickly.
That is true. I think it's definitely something that they can make happen. I'm almost guaranteeing that we should see Nat swapping off to a Reaper or to a Junkrat, something that can do a lot more damage than a Widowmaker. Widow's great. Nat's been clicking heads all night, but it's not going to do anything against a double shield composition unless you have the right angles. And for you to get the right angles, you pretty much have to either go off by yourself or you're going to see Tiger Lily be coming in tow. And if both of you get shredded immediately, it's not going to be looking good for your team. So even though Nat does have the sights online right now, I would really like to see Nat, take it back to spawn after the next death, throw the sights out if need be, swap onto something that's going to do a lot more damage. That's really what I'm wanting to see here.
Hopefully, maybe Space Mute might even change it up too, since Reinhardt can be a tough pick against the Bastion unless they can get into a position where they can actually take out the Bastion with their whole team. But I would say a dive composition could work the best against the Bastion strat like this.
Mm, It depends on how coordinated that strat is, and with Chibi Kitty coming in on that Ana, those anti-nades are gonna have to be huge for a dive composition like that. You're gonna have to be able to get that anti-nade in so that the healing is being prevented, or at least, very least, take the healers down ahead of time before you dive in on that Bastion to try to suck up that damage. If anything, I would recommend maybe Space Mew swapping over to a Diva so that they have that. I like to call the Sigma Diva the suck squad, because you got the defense matrix and you have Sigma's uh,
Kinetic
collection
draft.
ability. And
Mhm.
I don't know if you've ever played Sigma against a Bastion like that, but you can literally get twice, if not three times, as much shields as you normally have with that ability if the Bastion decides, oh, I'm just going to continue to try to shoot at the Sigma, even though I know I'm doing absolutely nothing except for charging them up. And having an over one, I think it's over 1,000 shield for a Sigma, or it's really high up there. That is not something you want to provide to the enemy team, let me tell you.
Yes, I've used Sigma a couple times, and I have been that Sigma that just eats soaks up all the bullets
Mm-hmm.
Bastion just shoots at me, and I can confirm that yes, I can get about 700. My health jumps up from about 400, 500 to about 700 just because of all the damage. Because the damage is I can soak up as much damage as if I wanted to in that little window. So I gain so much value from being aggressive, taking that Bastion's bullets in, and letting my team move up with me to also get aggressive. And it looks like we are ready once again. We're about to hop right back into it. Let's see how this
Well,
plays
gotta check
out.
in with the other team here first. Make sure that they're ready to go. I know that this is kind of an in-between break, but you never know what might happen on the other side as well. Want to make sure everybody's ready to go. But other than that, it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of ultimates online. We're still pretty early in the fight. The next ultimate that's going to be online is between Ox's Beat Drop versus Flame's EMP. Tiger Literally does have the Valkyrie, but I mean, yeah, that
Let's see Matt.
not gonna do you a lot of value,
Oh, hold on.
except for like healing the whole team when you're going up against a pirate ship composition. You're especially not. I hope you're not gonna fly into the sky, because then you're just gonna get shot down as soon as you started. But it looks like we're gonna go ahead and get back into the action right now. Chibi just fell to Andros on the objective, so we're
The
seeing
turret
a
itself.
6v3.
So we got a double turret strategy going on now. But also that we got sight lines coming in on Nat. Let's see if they make something happen. But Nat having a tough time getting his picks off. And it looks like Nat and picking off box arrows. It looks like they're getting aggressive. Space View coming out and like bumping two people off the card. And there it is. United Moose going in ham, doing all that they can, and just going in and just defeating this Bastion strat.
Wow. I'm a little beside myself. Gotta be honest there. That was not what I was expecting to happen right there. That Bastion absolutely should have shredded Space Mew right there, if at anything. And that might have been the issue. Sometimes you get overwhelmed with heroes that sometimes you try to shoot everybody all at once, and that doesn't work out well for you, because then nobody dies. So got to make sure to have that focus as a DPS. We're seeing a lot of swaps coming in once again from the side of Scarwet, and that's a lot of
huge MVP coming out,
offline.
getting free with a shatter by Space Mew, going in, doing damage. Nat once again taking off heads. And that's it. That's gonna be a regroup on Scarlet's side. That was a smart play though by Space Mew on the charge, because I don't think the charge was for a kill. It was just to knock off those tanks from the Bastion to provide as little support as they could.
That is true. That is true right there. And now Scarwet has put themselves in a really bad position. They've got a minute left on the clock and pretty much very few ultimates in the pocket due to all those quick resets. Let's see if they can earn some up to get this fight won.
Zodiac taking out Nat though, diving in on them. But Shenron with the shatter coming in, let's see if anything big comes out. But it doesn't look like he'll need it, as he's already gotten 2 picks off. And it looks like once again Scarlet coming as another back and forth battle with Scarlet going in and taking out United Moose as they go on. and they reach point 1.
Given the claps to Zodiac right there. Beautiful. Absolutely swapping over to that Winston. I've been calling it all night. You need somebody to dive in. The very first pick Zodiac ended up getting was onto Nat. Nat has now swapped off to the McCree, so that's going to be a little harder to do because he got that stun. It's going to be really hard. Lynx is going to come in with the res, though, as they head in for their next fight.
That could be huge. Now they're in that 6v6 situation once again. Shenron still has the shatter. Ryan's shield broken, and there it is. We got 2 coming out, but oh my gosh, Flamo coming with a save, and then taking out Shenron in response. United Moose looks like they're up now. Zodiac with the final rage, trying to keep himself alive. The high noon coming out from Andros gets Chibi Kitty. Flamo Kami takes out Link's disease though, and it looks like United Moose takes this fight.
That is absolutely unfortunate. That Sigma Shield ended up blocking much more of the damage that could have ended up coming out from Andros' Deadeye right there. Pretty much the entire enemy team was trying to take care of Zodiac in that side room, and that Deadeye would have been devastating had not Okami turned around, shot that shield out.
Another huge attack coming out with a huge shatter to go along with it. United Moose once again about to go with a cleanup of. Here we go again as Zodiac once again trying to get much work done, but Flame Okami shutting down Zodiac in response with the hack. Flame Okami an absolute menace on the Sombra as they're getting hacks left and right, saving people and in the process.
That is absolutely huge for Flame. They're doing an incredible job with those hacks, picking them off time and again. Zodiac, remember, if your team is down, don't be diving into the action like that, fam. You're just going to get yourself shredded. But now we got a rally coming out.
Yeah, another high noon coming out. Gets 2. That is huge on their side. That's 1 main tank down along with their DPS. Now, once again, Scarlet on the cleanup, trying to do, just going, and there it looks like they're about to get point 2 as well. A huge play by Andros with the Deadeye.
That was incredible timing right there. They were literally triggered one after the other. The only advantage that Andros had that we didn't see come out for Nat right there is just that shielding. You know, a lot of their team was right in front of them. They had the high ground advantage, and they were engaging in on Space Mew and Okami, and that allowed them to get the value out of that Deadeye that they needed, shutting it down before Nat could pop off theirs. But now, Nat and Flame are coming in as Reaper and May, and this is about to get cold really fast.
We see Moira going out with her coalescence along with Tiger Lily with the Valkyrie. We see that Scarlet was already down one of their healers as the fight went on. It's probably not smart to try and push that. You had to get out of there once one of your healers is down. And right now we see United Moves just cleaning up and keeping them off with only about a minute remaining on the side of Scarlet trying to get this point, all 3 ticks.
That was a beautiful regroup and re-engage right there from the side of United Moose, doing an incredible job. They got some swaps off, exactly what they need to counter what's coming in.
Oh, and it looks like they pulled in the Shinron on, and it looks like they got the kill on him. Another huge throw coming out, and that'll be it. And United Moose once again on the cleanup. 46 seconds remaining. Let's see if we have time for only one more fight coming out on Scarlet. Team kill coming in. That rings loud and proud on United Moose's great work.
So Jack in the chat is saying, teach me how to talking eat. And that is talking eat right there by Space Mew, coming in with that fat shatter and just eating up those lives with that big old hammer. That is what talking eat is, my friend.
And it looks like Shenron could have got a huge shadow coming out and Roadhog pulled them in. We see Blizzard coming out, but it looks like I don't see where it came from. Another high noon coming out with a shatter. That could be it, folks. That could be what they needed. That could be what Scarlet needed to push this point where it needs to go. And it looks like they'll probably have one more fight. It's now overtime. Let's see if United Moose can hold them off. They're trying to get a regroup in for one more final fight, but it looks like they'll be very close to it. We got Okami, Nat, and Tiger Lily with their ults online. So let's see if anything can happen, and Space Mew can get their ult back as well. We see a whole hog coming out that's gonna break shield. We now have. Oh, it looks like everyone was switched off the point. United Moose has won this game.
That Hog 9 coming out from Okami right there. You always got to be ready for that whole hog right there. Space View coming in again with that play of the game. It's going to be this big old fat Shaddy we saw right here. Ends up taking down Shanron, gets the shatter, and then just cleans it up for a beautiful quintuple kill right there. Couldn't have done it any better myself. Space Mute doing an incredible job on that main tank. But remember, we are still in the regular season, so we are going to play out that map 4. So we do have a chance for Scarwet to get just one map tonight. I know that they can make it happen. I completely believe that Scarwet can take this next map.
And we'll be going on to Volskaya for our 4th map.
That is true. I'm getting that set up right now. And while I'm setting that up, be sure in the chat to be letting us know, who do you want to take this? Do you want Scarwet to walk away with a little bit of pride and be able to hold on to at least one victory this evening? Or do you want United Moose to just stomp them into the ground and take this 4-0 away? Let us know in the chat what you're all thinking while you're doing that. You can also hit that heart, punch that bell, and that subscribe button if you got it. If you don't, that's okay too. We appreciate any kind of support that you can give us.
Yes, sir. And we're going on to take it to Russia, Mother Russia itself for this 4th map. Let's see if Scarlet can kind of squeeze out a win tonight. But United Moose, once again, proving that they are a dominant force within this league. And hopefully they can continue to get better as the season goes on.
See, I only got one thing to say about Volskaya Industries. Now I'm a man of science myself, and those robots are freaking huge. So why is it when we play on Volskaya Industries that the map does not shake every time those robots take a step? Why, Overwatch? Why?
Jeff Kaplan, please answer that if you can. Jeff Kaplan, hit us up. Come on, Jeff from OW. These are the answers that the people need.
These are the questions that we ask. And not only that, but who in the heck would live in that area? Could you imagine that? Essentially living in a constant state of earthquakes 24/7. I mean, I lived on a submarine for some time, but I mean, being in the water on rough seas, like it's almost like a rocking motion. But I feel like if something stomping the ground, it's not nearly as relaxing or calming as a rocking ocean.
I mean, the Russians are over there fighting bears. They're good.
Yeah, I mean that might be their lullaby. That might be how they go to sleep every night. Is just play me some beautiful earthquake music, please, and please activate bed shaking.
Yes.
I don't know. Never been there. Maybe someday. But
Russians are very lovely people. We love them all.
Absolutely. Love all you. We love all of you out there.
All the respect for your vodka drinking and bear wrestling.
All right, we're just seeing if the teams are ready to go. Let's go ahead and get into our final match of the evening. We're going to be headed once again to Volskaya Industries.
What kind of comps do you think we'll see on this Volskaya Industries itself?
Again, this is another one of those maps that it really depends on what we see come out from the teams. I think we're going to see that brawly comp that we've continued to see from the side of United Moose. It's safe. It works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Scarwet's been trying out some things. Some things have worked. Some things haven't. One thing I have not seen tonight at all, which has been a little surprising, is Echo. No Echo play so far tonight. And it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing it this match either, at least during the initial run. I mean, our attackers are always capable of swapping and making the caster curse true at the last second. But we are going to get some Ashe action here on either side. Zodiac going to be going on the off tank this time around once again as the Zarya instead of the Rhine. Shanron's going to go ahead and take that. And I got to say, Shanron been doing a good job at that. A little cleaner, a little bit more defensive than Zodiac, but still getting caught out by Space Mew. You got to be timing out those ults. You got to be watching that charge. Super important. But the healing line is absolutely different. We've got the sustain from Andros now taking on the Baptiste with Lynx on the Ana. Chibi Kitty and Tiger Lily coming in on the Pharah and Lucy.
And we see the teams aren't engaged right now. Personal preference saying, though, Lucio and Mercy came a little bit low healing, so let's see how United Moves deals with this. We're trying to see both teams engaging right now, trying to get something to happen over here, trying to get a pick off. Right now, we're in a little bit of a stalemate. Kimmy trying to get some rockets enough. Nat trying to take the high ground as Ashe, trying to click more head once again, and maybe getting some huge dynamites out. But right now, we see United Moves backing up a little bit, not knowing really what to do in certain situation. Nat already clicking heads on Ox arrows as Ashe. Another big dynamite coming out. We see a shadow coming out, but it doesn't seem to pick anyone up as it gets blocked. OwO gets two with their visor, takes out both DPS, and now that'll be a regroup for United Moves.
Emmy saved the day right there, getting that tack visor online just in time. Worked out incredible wonders right there. And what we're seeing is exactly what you were describing, is that it's utility versus healing right here. Chibi Kitty and Tiger Lily on the Lucio Mercy give them a lot of utility. They got the speed boost, they got the reses, they have a lot of utility, but very low outputs on healing. Whereas on the other side, you've got some of the biggest healers in the game. That Ana, that Baptiste, huge healers. Definitely a lot of ultimate.
See that on fish coming out. Let's see anyone. Looks like it. And we see a revive on Flame Okami. See another. Oh, we see a huge drops on Surge coming out. But we see a beat coming out as well. Let's protect everyone. Bob is now on the ground sleeping, but is woken up. But it looks like United Moves trying to take a step back a little bit. And it looks like that's going to be we're regroup. Got Barrage coming out, gets Shinron on. There's 3 on the side. 3. United Moves takes out 3 in the process, as with only a 1 coming out from Scarlet. They're trying to hold on for as much as they can, but it looks like it's inevitable as United Moves will take this first point.
That's the thing, though, is that it wasn't inevitable, and as Emmy should be doing the entire fight as that soldier, you should always be keeping your eyes on the sky. They knew that Pharah wasn't around. Flame had to be somewhere, and that sneaky barrage from behind, even though they only got 1 pick on it, it actually provided a huge distraction for Okami to be able to push in and get an additional couple kills for them to grab objective alpha.
And we almost saw that Flame Okami trying to get a little bit sneaky yet again on the Sombra. Won't work as well over here because everyone's so close to the point. We see another shatter coming out. Gets only 1, just Zodiac, but a immortality field comes up to save them. Another dynamite coming out on Shinron. As we see, both teams are kind of, like I said, in this stalemate. Looks like United Moose is going to back up for Grigu.
That worked out incredibly well for them. Just a note for those Ryan players out there, or shield players in general, if you're able to retract your shield after a dynamite comes down, be sure to do so, otherwise it will eat away at it. Great job for Shanron right there, using that shield to protect against that dynamite and then resetting that so incredibly quickly. Okami coming on to that Graviton Surge for this next fight, but lots of Qs to be pressed on the side.
So we see Visor coming out. Another beat coming out, looks like. Shatter coming out, huge with the 4 people in the Shatter, but could not capitalize on it too much. And it looks like it'll look like Scarlet is pushed back. Bob coming out, but in a bad position, not able to get any picks off. United Moves once again, and just showing the dominance once again, and just going up and getting every picks that they need to get out. Shatter coming out, but doesn't seem to get anyone. It looks like it's blocked by the circle in the middle. So it looks like and there it is. Scarlet escapes the jaws of death once again, as United Moose still trying to hold it off on this point, but not getting any work done, and that they might have as well try and regroup at this point.
Yeah, the big thing about this point on Volskaya is the fact that the defenders have such an advantage with the quick respawns. If you cannot kill everyone on that team, or at least get them off the objective within the first 5 seconds of the first person dying, you might as well just back up and regroup, because those respawns are gonna, unless you've got them in a really good stagger where you can pick them off over and over again once they're coming in, that's the only good positioning that you're gonna have on that objective. They couldn't get it, so it was a good option for them to back out, but now huge trap.
Oh, we see the immortality field getting hacked by iFlame Okami with the EMP. That could be huge. Bob coming in on point. Like, that is it. That's about 5 on this United move. It looks like they will be taking point 1. And looks like Shinron tried to get a shatter off, but couldn't do it. Pfizer coming out to try and get some sneaky picks off, but just holding the shield in his face. A space mute protecting their team. And still trying to see that Scarlet is trying to hold something out. Immortality field comes up. Also see a wrecking ball coming in as well. They'll probably try and spin the win on a point as well. It's now a very, very even fight. You see Shadow coming out and try and get everyone that they need off the point. Trying to confirm some more kills. So Chibi Kitty tried to get a beat off, but it looks like I gets denied. More and more coming out, ring around the rosy from the wrecking ball, and it seems like another Doomfist coming out as well. Rocket Robots coming out. Doomfist then taken out by Nats, and looks like yet again Scarlet will be escaping the jaws of death.
Zodiac has to get some major props right there. Even though they ended up getting slept off the objective, they ended up being able to get back into the fight, giving up only 1 tick, but ended up stalling out for so long, activated the Primal Rage when they fell low. They allowed their team enough time to get back into the action and could not be taken down for a second. Now Kimmy coming back in and that hog. Let's see if that can solidify at this point.
Capping final fight. It could be a huge blizzard coming out. Emmy with the 1 punch. The Shinron with the charge. Like they're already down 2 on the side of United Moose. You see the immortality field coming out to protect everyone. United Moose having a tough time trying to get any work done. On Scarlet still on the upside. And looks like we got uppercut yet again from Emmy. Looking like a huge danger with the Doomfist. And looks like that is it. United Moose only able to take 1 point. Scarlet keeping them off for only 1 tick.
That is true, but they almost got that second tick, so they have to get up to that percentage, 62.5%. They're going to have to surpass that, and that was an incredible defense. I'm not going to lie. One of the big things about assault maps is being able to stagger that defense when people start losing their lives. Zodiac, Shanron doing an incredible job as those tank players, just giving up a lot of space on the objective for also stalling out as much as they did. Just absolutely an incredible job to allow their team to be able to get back in the action. It looks like they possibly may be going for this hybrid brawl dive once again. It looks like Ox Arrow's going to be taking the Widowmaker this time around, with Andrew coming in on the BAP again. Emmy opting onto the Genji, but I question it a little bit. It's going to be a little difficult with Flame Okami, unless you can charge off of Nat, take Nat out of the picture first. It's going to be really hard to engage with Flame just because of that Cryo Blaster. Gonna freeze any deflecting Genji in their tracks right there. Let's see if they can make this fight happen.
We could have some huge nano blades coming out, as you see Lynx on the Honda as well.
Good anti-nade.
And it looks like that'll keep him holding for a little bit. Nat once again clicking heads on Zodiac. We see a charge coming in, and it looks like once again Nat, once again a monster on the Widowmaker, clicking heads left and right. And looks like United Moose will clean him up and win the first fight.
That anti-nade was such a huge stall there at the beginning, and I guess timing out when they were going to be able to get push back in. Zodiac was a little preemptive to try to get back into the action. Ended up getting themselves and Shanron walled off right there because they were separated from the rest of the team. Now it looks like they are going to dedicate to that. Oh! All right, we're going to get some sim teleporter action here. All right. I like how that looks.
That could be a smart play. Let's see how they play this out. Looks like they're trying to going top round. Oh, nope. Looks like they're going right into them. Still getting about 2 picks off. And we see a charge coming in from Space Mew. That's unfortunate. And it looks like that's going to be another regroup of United Moose holding a great defense right now.
F in the chat, folks. That was just a hair off of where that teleporter was supposed to be. They were going on top of the bunker. They, Ox must have just kind of been in a hurry, didn't realize where it actually was, and just ended up teleporting them right into the middle without everyone realizing that that's where they were going. There we go.
There it is. Huge anti-nade going out, though. That could be huge. 2 Shadow coming out, holding everyone else in place. A sim taken out by Space Mew. Ew. He's trying to see Doomfist coming out again, but is once again shut down. Roadhog now taking a sleep on the point right now. But it looks like they won't be able to do much against it as United Moose holds off another great defense. We see Baptiste still trying to make it work and healing everyone up. No one focusing right now. Huge Dragon Surge coming out. Another huge Shadow coming out as well. Going to take everyone out. Primal Rage about to be a waste. Ace as he's now low health. Oh, Zodiac doing what they can. We see Flame Okami with the Blizzard coming out. Once again, Spacey charging left and right, taking out his targets. It's with ease. And it looks like they're chasing down Echo. Someone has yet to pressure Andros on top. Looks like he's trying to make his grand escape right now as he skips, and jumps away. Nope, he gets moved off the map by Chibi.
Tiger Lily is the game maker right there. Tiger Lily, not contested, and the entire time during that completed fight, the whole fight was taken on the objective. It was a 4v3 scenario. They have the numbers to shut it down, but no one even sent a hook or a monkey the way of the healer, and now it looks like they're going to get shut down again.
Miami getting the slam on them. Another huge EMP coming out, though, to kind of block out sound barrier, and it looks like once again United Moose on the cleanup, doing the best that they can. And look, there are only 20 seconds remaining. And let's see if Scarlet can get one last fight in for this final point. That's hard to do once your healers are dead. It's now or never. Let's see what Scarlet does. They either have to push it or they let them have the win. But it looks like another huge anti coming out as well with the Dragon Surge. We got the B coming out, but nothing works. And it looks like United Moose will take all 4 games.
It was an interesting composition going into that last map. When I can understand not using the shields when you have the Symmetra. Being able to teleport on point, you don't have to engage in those brawly fights as quickly, and you're able to get some progress on the objective. But as soon as we saw them swap off of that Symmetra, they should have got a shield tank back in the fight. I know that Hog it has huge sustainability, but somebody's got to be on that shield tank when you're trying to push in to a choke that tight. It's just not something that you can make happen unless you're using a sim teleporter or unless you're using a complete dive team that are able to get through the chokes very quickly. Scarwet, you got a lot of improvements to be worked on, but you made some good plays too. Definitely nothing wrong with bringing it back for the next match. United Moose going undefeated tonight against Scarwet, doing an incredible job. Let's go ahead, throw it now to our player of the match. Go ahead, pop it off in the chat who you all want for your player of the match this evening. Why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Well, me personally, I might have to give it to Flame Okami for the huge somber plays, not only backcapping the point, but also with the huge hacks that possibly saved their teammates from an inevitable death from on Junkertown when the Reinhardt has shattered on the side of Scarlet. So
Uh,
Flame Okami, I'm tipping my hat off to you for your Sombra plays.
And I'm going to have to give some healer love tonight to Tiger Lily, doing an incredible job on that Ana. Those anti-nades were coming up huge every single time, and those tanks just continued to sustain so much damage and were healed up just as quickly. So Tiger Lily, you're walking away with my player of the match this evening. Looking at the schedule for the rest of the week as my sheet loads up here. We're going to see tomorrow evening a Eucalyptus versus Cyanide going on May 24th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Monday, the 25th, we'll be seeing Earthwind and Farah versus Phoenix Rising. Which is definitely going to be a very interesting match. Both teams are currently tied 1-1 with a map differential of +2. So they are literally even keel in their first two matches. I am really interested to see what they're going to make happen for their fight on Monday.
And coming up after that, we're having our playoffs finally come out. It should be an interesting, fun time for everyone here in the OCC Scrim community as the best of the best battle it out to see who will reign supreme over their division at the end of the season.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for us. I do want to give a special shout out to Cybercat for producing for us this evening. Definitely couldn't do it without you. Shane, you got anything else you want to put out before we close out for the evening?
Have a good night, everyone. I hope you enjoyed listening to us, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good evening.